Dr. Collins History Channel.
I'd like to talk to you about the Iranian tribes, whose descendants are not just the people of Iran, many of whom identify as Persians, but also the Kurds, Pashtuns, who we associate with the Taliban, the Tajiks, and the Ossetians. The language and culture of the Iranian tribes was Indo-European, and their origins are mixed with those of the peoples of present-day India. First, they lived in the Eurasian steppe to the north of the Caspian Sea and further into Central Asia. They were pastoral nomads and mastered horse riding. Their name, Iranian, is derived from a word of their own language meaning noble or free. Originally, they shared a common culture and language with the Indo-Aryans, but then a split came around 1800 BC. The Indo-Aryans headed off further south and east into the Indian subcontinent. Around 1200 to 1000 BC, the Iranian tribes moved down to the southeastern corner of the Caspian Sea and spread out west and east. We could mention two of the best-known tribes, the Medes in the west and the Persians further south. Then there are other less famous tribes as we go east, such as the Sagartians, Kamanians, Gedrosians, the Bactrians, the Parthians, and the Sogdians. During the 8th and 7th century BC, the Medes in the west lived close to Mesopotamia and suffered constant attacks from the Assyrians. This caused them to come together to form a strong, united force led by a king who established Ecbatana as their royal capital, the current city of Hamadan in western Iran. The Persians lived in the south, coexisting with the ancient civilization of Elam, subordinate, mixing, and then eventually taking over the ancient capital of Anshan, but remaining the vassals of the Medes. The third king of the Medes was Cyaxares. He made an agreement with Nabopolassar, king of Babylon, to fight the Assyrians. In 614 BC, they attacked Ashur, and by 612 BC, the Medians and the Babylonians had destroyed Nineveh and crushed the Neo-Assyrian Empire. To celebrate their alliance, Cyaxares gave his daughter Amytis to be married to the son of Nabopolassar, a young man who would become Babylon's most famous king, Nebuchadnezzar. This marriage is said to have inspired the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Babylon was situated on the banks of the lower Euphrates, in the middle of a very flat plain. Since Amytis, his wife, missed the mountains of her Median homeland so much, Nebuchadnezzar had a landscaped garden built to console her. The Median Empire was a confederation of largely Iranian tribes spread from Anatolia in the west to Bactria in the east. In Anatolia, their rivals were the Lydians, with whom they fought a famous battle on the 28th of May, 585 BC, called the Battle of the Eclipse. Amongst the Lydian forces was a Greek philosopher called Thales of Miletus, who predicted a solar eclipse. A battle started on this day, but when the armies saw the eclipse, they were so shocked that they stopped fighting. The two kings came to an agreement, and to seal their new alliance, King Alyattes of Lydia married his daughter Arienes to Cyaxares' son Astyages. Cyaxares died shortly after the treaty, and Astyages was crowned the new king of the Medes.